that autumn wind. Shout out to the Raiders, man, we about to win. That's that autumn wind.
What's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. I'm Mitchell Renz, and I want you to comment F the refs, because after watching this game, Raiders versus Packers, I am so sick and tired of the officials in these Green Bay games. Last week absolutely screwed the Lions, and I think, I don't care that this game was 42-17 or 42-24, but like realistically, you got to go back and you need to think about all the things that happened in this game for the simple fact of the Raiders the momentum was absolutely killed in this football game rather quickly, and I hate pointing the finger at the officials, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to point my finger at the officials simply because there was way too many mistakes earlier in this game that really cost them. And a very costly play was unfortunately a Derek Carr fumble, but a lot of positive things to be happening on today's show. But I want you to use hashtag Raiders to have your questions featured on the show. I need to vent, and I want to vent with you. So to get your questions on Raiders versus Packers live Q&A, I want you to use hashtag Raiders to vent, because we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, so I'm going to do my best, to give some people some shout-outs. So Nature, Lynn, Extreme, I see you guys in the comments section. I appreciate you all very, very much. And then everyone who's watching us on Facebook as well. Once I can get it loaded up here, we'll get it working. But it's all good. So remember to use hashtag Raiders. Have your questions featured live on the show. Let's go to Dre T. What up, Dre? Let me edit some shit on my end here. Where are all those fours in the comments? Trade Carr. I don't think I'm all aboard this trade Carr scenario. Like, actually, and I hate to say it, but like, I thought Derek played pretty well, minus that one play. And we're going to look at that one play throughout the entire week. There's no doubt about it. Because realistically, the game goes from being in favor of the Raiders then to a bad turnover. The Packers go right down the field. They score. Then they get the ball at the halftime. I'm not trading Carr. I actually thought he played okay today. 293 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Yes, he did have 2 turnovers, but the last turnover was him just trying to make something happen. So I'm not all about trade Carr. Let's go to Super Chat that we got flowing in here from Capital Raider. Aaron Rodgers bet us, but the season ain't over. Aaron Rodgers is the reason why I've been saying he's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's maybe one of the most gifted quarterbacks. And yeah, Rodgers had a hell of a day. So when you combine the fact that we couldn't get a pass rush on Rodgers, combined with just his ability to make plays, I mean, there's a reason that Aaron is, an MVP candidate every single season. And sure, he wasn't putting up big-time numbers, but like, when Aaron Rodgers wanted to turn it on, he can do it at just about any point, and these numbers are the proof of that. Let's go to Christopher Sherwood. What up, fam? Did Conley and Worley get worked? I mean, Garyon had another pretty rough game, in my opinion. Darrell was kind of dealing with a little bit of some injuries here, as you could see. But the fact that the Packers passed as efficiently as they did against our defense is worrisome for the simple fact that they also didn't have Davante Adams. The bigger concern for me was not as much as Conley or Worley. When you can't get a pass rush, you can only guard wide receivers for so long. So I don't know if you guys saw the tweet from Adam Schefter right before the Raiders game that said the Raiders are going to be active during the trade deadline. After watching today's game, if we want to compete, which right now the AFC West is wide open with Patrick Mahomes going down, we need to go out and get some pass rushers. Let's go up. Brian, I don't know why that was really hard for me to say. Is Waller the best tight end in football? I'll tell you what, Brian, people are talking. And if y'all think that Darren Waller is the best tight end in the NFL right now, I want you to type Waller. I want you to type baller, because my dude is absolutely balling out. 7 catches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, I tweeted out, I don't know what kind of illegal crap I got to do to get Darren Waller a touchdown, but like, it finally flipping worked, man. It finally flipping worked, and he had 7 catches for 126 yards. I want to show you what some other players did here for the Oakland Raiders. You got Foster Moreau, who also found the end zone. 2 catches, 24 yards. Then you have Hunter Renfrow. I still think he needs to step it up a little bit here. Keelan Doss, 3 for 54. Marcel Aitman had a nice catch near the end of the game. Trevor Davis, I think the pass interference phantom call on Trevor Davis that Jon Gruden challenged earlier was absolutely terrible. Like, if if you have the ability to be able to challenge a play for some reason and it just can't get overturned anymore, the NFL needs to figure out what's going on. Because as I started off the show, F the refs in Green Bay, because, man, it was bad. All right, looks like we have another super chat from Capital Raider Thayer. I appreciate y'all using those super chats. Is Josh Jacobs the best rookie in the league? I would say right now there are two rookies on offense and on defense that I think are separating themselves as the best rookies. Number one is Josh Jacobs on offense. I think he is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And also on defense, you have to say Joey Bosa right now. Or not Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa of the 49ers. They're both playing outstanding football, both reasons why their teams are playing so well. But it's hard to argue right now with Josh. I mean, he averaged 5.9 yards per carry in this one. Yes, he didn't get into the end zone. Really close to getting in the end zone there at the end of that game. But, yeah, those are my top two rookies right now. Let's go to Big Mike. Big Mike, why do they call you that? Maybe the girl in your picture could tell me. This game was not Carr's fault. This was a secondary problem. See, I'm going to agree, but I'm also going to agree to disagree. Two reasons behind that. Yes, the secondary got absolutely torched, but I might even put more of a blame on our defensive line not being able to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers more than blaming our, secondary. So there's that part of it. But then also, Carr's costly fumble. I think the biggest thing that you need to do, whether we're going to go back into history here, you need to be able to learn from history. And Carr had a very costly fumble in 2017 against the Dallas Cowboys that really hurt the Raiders. And the exact same thing happened today. He's diving in for the touchdown, and then the ball comes out, and it's a touchback. That touchback literally goes 99 yards then for the Packers, or whatever, 80 yards, and turns into a touchdown. I mean, I'm not going to blame the entire game on Derek Carr. No, that is not fair. And he played well. But overall, when you have that costly fumble, that was a huge momentum shift in this game. Let's go to Eduardo. Yes, I know I see some of you guys yelling at me for being on my phone. I'm trying to share y'all on Facebook. That way we can get a bigger show. And right now we got 130 people live on Facebook. So, Chris, I see you. Kirk, I see you. Mitchell Wallace on Facebook. Much appreciated. If you're watching us live on YouTube, if you're watching us live on Facebook, share it. Share the show. I'd appreciate it. YouTube.com/RaidersReport, or just click the share button. So I want to continue to grow the family. Actually, wait a minute. I should probably go back to Eduardo. Do I even answer his question? We'll go back to it, Eduardo. I promise you. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's grow the fam. 29,343. Once we get to 30K subscribers, we'll do some more giveaways. Also, I want to give a shout out to my man, Little Man Jay. I got your pin on, man. I found it. I've been looking for it. I've been wanting to wear it. I appreciate the entire nation. Y'all are my big family, and I want to continue to grow the fam. Also, give a shout out to my man, Little Man Jay. Got to get some pins from the man. All right, Eduardo, I'll bring you back. My bad. Mitch, I agree your take on the refs, but the way our D was playing, there was no way we were walking out with a win. Yes and no again. I'll actually say that I thought the Raiders going into halftime outplayed the Packers. And when you look at the numbers, the Raiders realistically I thought were in control of this game. Yes, our secondary needs to improve, but when you give Aaron Rodgers these extra opportunities, or you get these like phantom pass interference calls, like the pass interference call that was with Jimmy Graham, I tweeted it out and it's going viral because you're seeing these little plays that turn into touchdowns then for the Packers. I know we lost 42-24, and I don't really want to say that I'm proud that we lost, but you can see this team is different. You can watch the game. And if you're just going to hunt box scores, you're going to say, no, Mitch, you're crazy. But if you watch the game, first quarter to the fourth quarter, this Raiders team is a lot different. And if y'all agree with me on Facebook, you can start liking this video because this team is a lot different. Let's go to Voodookin Mafia with that super chat. Woo! What up, my man? We are cursed on defense. I don't know about cursed. We spend draft capital, bring in free agents, big name coordinator, third and fourth wide receivers still wide open. You have Aaron Rodgers, he's going to make things happen. But tell me how many teams in the NFL right now are dealing with the amount of injuries that I think the Raiders are. Plus, you lose a captain on defense because of a suspension. And plus, you lose a first-round pick. I mean, how many teams are dealing? And plus, we didn't have Cleveland Ferrell. Like, the amount of injuries that are racking up on this team, yes, you go out and you sign LaMarcus Joyner to 4 years, $42 million. But, like, we didn't have Trent Brown in this game, big-time free agent. The biggest move we made in the offseason, that man's absolutely psycho. He's no longer with the team. But the Raiders, I think, are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. And I'll dap up Jon Gruden for the play calling that he had today. I thought he had coached an amazing game, to be honest with y'all. Now, I see some of y'all are thinking that the Raiders are cursed. Well, If you think that the Raiders are cursed, I don't really agree with that. But I did bet on the Raiders to win this football game. Unfortunately, I lost my bet at BetDSI. But luckily for me, I used my promo code Raiders120, and I got $60 for free when I put down $50. And if you guys want to bet on the Raiders for the rest of the season against the Texans, because from what I've heard, we're going to absolutely drown the Texans fans in Houston. I know a lot of friends here in Dallas. I've talked to a lot of people. We're going to all go down to Houston, and we're going to make that a home game for the Raiders. So I'm telling you right now, I know it says Raiders at Houston. Nah. Go to BetDSI, bet on the Raiders winning that home game in Houston, but you got to go to chatsports.com/bet. Let's go to Norberto Rodriguez, who looks like a Ninja Turtle. Get a picture. What do we need to do to redeem ourselves to win our next game? Continue to run the football with Josh Jacobs. Get healthy. Like, the schedule for the Raiders is not going to get easier these next 2 weeks. I think the Texans, yes, that they had a rough game today against the Colts, but the Texans are a tough football team. The Lions are a tough football team, especially against the run. But if you want to win football games, you lean on your dude, Josh Jacobs. I mean, you can't tell me a running back, Christian McCaffrey's playing pretty well right now. But besides Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs is running like a man out of hell. Like 21 carries, 5.9 yards per carry again today. Just missed the end zone, got stuffed. You want to win football games? Yeah, lean on your dude, Josh Jacobs. Let's go to Hambino. What up, fam? Keep using hashtag Raiders. Get your questions on the show. And then here in a little bit, I'm going to break down some grades, some winners and losers. We'll be able to vent a little bit more. And, hey, if you want to tell me what you're sipping on, I'd appreciate that. So I want to give a shout out to Matt, David, Rodney watching us on Facebook. If you want to become a top Facebook fan, click share. That definitely would help me out a lot. All right, let's go to Hambino. Do you think Carr has not been the same since his leg and finger injuries? I would say he's not been the same more or less with the back injury, but when you get hit in any sport, it's going to, screw with you a little bit mentally. But I still will say that I think Derek is playing good football right now. He's playing with players, guys, that have never really played in the NFL. Yeah, now I think Darren Waller is a very good player. But before coming into the year, what did Darren Waller ever do? Nothing. Foster Moreau continues to get better, but he's a rookie. Hunter Renfrow, rookie. Keelan Doss, UDFA. Trevor Davis wasn't even on our team. Like, we go out and get Zay Jones. I'm a little bit curious why he wasn't active today. But all of these players that Derek has to work with, I mean, it's not getting... I don't think you can always just point the finger at Derek. I mean, he's dealing with a lot of different turnover. That's not easy. Let's go to Andrew. I actually like this picture. That PI call with Jimmy Graham set the time for the game and how calls were going to go. That's why I started this show off, Andrew, with F the refs. And I want you guys to comment below, F the refs. Now, I'm not normally the person that likes to blame referees. I actually don't care for it. But from what I saw last week against the Packers and the Lions, that game was totally screwed over. And when you look back at this game, the Raiders realistically were in control of this game. And then there's that phantom Jimmy Graham pass interference call. The referees totally switched this, and unfortunately, the Raiders aren't really a team where if they get behind by a lot of points, they want to run the football. They're not built to pass the football like the Packers. And as soon as they got out to that big lead, yeah, I'm sorry. I really think the refs screwed the Raiders in this game. So continue to use, comment below. F the refs. I would definitely appreciate that. You're watching Raiders vs. Packers live reaction. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.